Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the PCM World Cup 2023 tonight. Inline Semifinals team. As I wait for the confirmation of center court, Emil, welcome to all. My name is the biggest of all dogs. Here with me tonight are Emil the 90th and Grassi will actually join for the commentary of our center court and our multicast, as I will be absent from the first stage as I will be in Group A competing, but we will have center court as Group B, which is Skype, European Luxus, Portugal, and Villas. In Group A, where I will be competing, like I said in the first stage, we have PCM UK, Show, Super Meme, and Le Panache. So, semifinals, we'll see the parcours if EMEA has them. And as you can see, we have 3 different stages for 3 different leaders. So this will be interesting to see. Quick analysis, I would say. Favorites in Group B are probably Portugal and Skype, given their amazing World Championship so far. But Village and Luxers will both have a word to say. In Group B, it's a very balanced showdown between 4 good teams. PCM UK, I would say, in my opinion, are favorite, or one of the favorites, but it isn't as easy as it looks because Show has a good team. Super Meme is pretty much PCM Spain, or not pretty much, it is PCM Spain, so obviously also a very good team. And Le Panache, that has also been doing some good results, will also have their word to say. And also, it is in line, there will be sprints, there will be masks, a lot of points to grab, anything can happen. So, as I prepare to go compete in the first stage, about to select my team, I will leave you in a couple of minutes, and I will be joining Group A. And after stage 1, I should be back to join Grassi in commentary. So, stay tuned for that. And first stage, as you can see, is a very competitive one, even in terms of KOMs. Albeit quite a few of them are fourth cats, third cats. There's a couple of second cats, but there's 2 intermediate sprints, 2 important intermediate sprints. The first one of which will definitely be fought by for the sprinters. The second one, not so much, because there's cobbles afterwards, and there's going to be a lot of fight, a lot of movements in between, or expected to be. And then we're going to a section of a lot of KOMs that the teams will be trying to attack, because what might seem just a very few little points is actually 3 points for the winner, then 2, then 2 more, then 3 more, and so on. So at the end of the day, these points can definitely help for teams to get an advantage on each other if they are well played, well executed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the PCM World Cup 2023, sponsored by Cyanide and Nacom, or presented by Cyanide and Nacom, both of them. And remember to check out PCM 2023 and Tour de France 2023 this June on Steam and digital platforms, and other digital platforms, but mainly on Steam, where you usually can get your copies. And there will be some interesting changes this year, as you can already have checked Cyanide's announcement on the matter, so be sure to check that out. So I can tell you at this moment that Group A is pretty much almost ready to launch, if not ready. Let me see. I think everyone has their teams. For Spain, we have Miru, Frabo, and Felipe. For so we have Barna, Stilos, and Tutur. And for Le Panache, we have Cobra, El Colombiano, and Classic World Champion, still Classic World Champion ASD. I don't know what that means, man. You have to be more specific in there. Oh, just click the purple thing. Should be fine. Oh. Well, you need to click it first, and then you put the image. You click, you access, and then you put the stream of the window. You don't need to simulate anything. I forgot to remove that setting, but to be honest, I quite swear a lot on my own channel. That's the advantage of having your own channel, so that's always there as a reminder. And ASD is still offline, I believe, though he's ready to play now. Needs to select his team. Oh my god. Seriously, bro. I don't think I can change those settings between, and I don't remember how. Let me see. Settings. Channel and videos. You're making my life harder here. Because really, I don't remember how to edit this. I really don't remember. I know there's a thingy in the definitions, I just don't remember where. And I don't really have time for that now. Alright, start it however you want. I need to go to my team voice chat. Guys, Brusty will be joining soon to do the comment, and I will be joining him after stage one. So stay tuned for that. I will be back later.
Greetings to all. The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to you're following the live stream of Inline Tour Inline Team. Sorry, semifinals. Stages are already on the road. We're following both groups, so actually these will be our multicast. Okay, so now let's get things. So let's go to group A. So intro's been already done, so actually this is good. I don't need to do it. And let's go to follow the streams. Okay, so we have everything we need to follow. So let's get to group A. We are in group A. We are 133 kilometers from the finish. We have a situation with the group, with the full group at the moment, and just South America team on the attack. I'll check. I'll quickly check because yeah, need to check teams. So we have in group B those kind of teams. Okay. So La Panache de Neromen on the attack. Okay. In Group A, we have La Panache de Neromen on the attack. Behind, it's mainly Team PCM UK doing the job, trying to relay back the break. Actually, there is a long flat section here. So even if narrow roads, it will be easy for the group to control the break, especially because actually the pace is not very high in E1. The advantage is 1 minute 10 seconds, and it's dropping. It's dropping since we started the live, and so I guess the break has has counted minutes here. So we go to Group B, since the situation here is mostly defined. Because in Group B, we are on Mur, on the biggest climb probably of the day. And Mur is at the start of the stage, so we are 183 kilometers from the finish, and already the pace seems so high that group split, actually split because the break, there was the break that almost split on the climb, even if now they seem to have reduced the pace. Before we are going to Bosberg, which is the second climb right after, 1.2 kilometers at 5.9%. And the group behind had splitted for a second, but now it came back together, while Petit, so for Team Show, I think it's Team Show, yeah, it should be Team Show. No, Team Skype, probably, who took the points here. So actually, the group is fights quite behind the break, because there are 11 riders now, because the break split for a second. Now T2 is trying to escape again trying to win the intermediate sprint, which is 7 kilometers apart from now. And he tried to take advantage, but the pace in the group was so high that he couldn't go. So actually, it's about to start a battle between trains for the intermediate sprint placed in Ninove. So the location where Ronde van Vlaanderen finished until 2011. So actually, let's see trains T2 for T2 should be I think it's Dumardi. Then we have Portugal with Guilherme here, pacing with Rui Costa. And the sprint is about to be launched, 1.6 kilometers to go. And it's Tuanu starting the sprint, starting the sprints and taking advantage here and taking 1-2. So great sprint for Tuanu. That took the sprint first and second place for Team Skype. Yeah. So now European Laxers were a bit behind in this sprint. So actually, let's see if we have to go on Group A. Okay, let's go on Group A. Now, Group A, we are 100 kilometers from the finish, and we're about to go on the second intermediate sprint in Oudenaarde. 3.3 kilometers now, and we're seeing that UK team is a bit in a bad position now. There are many turns in this to the sprint. Now this is the last turn, and we can see that the sprint is launched. Sprint is launched with McPlay, which is actually trying to recover position, but the win is for. Wait just a second. The win is it should be for Show FC, the intermediate sprint. Okay, actually, we are a few kilometers from the start of an interesting section because actually we will have 3 KOMs placed in a few kilometers. So intermediate sprints in Oudenaarde has been won by La Panache de Neromen. I think LPN should be La Panache de Neromen. Behind them, Super Meme for a podcast, so the Spanish team. And we are now on Maria Borrestrat, 600 meters, 3 stars cable. The group is packed, and we don't see many attacks at the moment. We are 2.3 kilometers away from a KOM, which is Steinberg, actually. So positioning will be key, even because Steinberg is one of the hardest climbs here. In fact, you see percentages going up to 12%, and it's Team UK winning the KOM with the I don't know. Can we go on the first rider? Okay, we're seeing Froome. No, I was trying to ask to go on riders. I forgot this is external stream. Yeah, so whatever. We are 2.6 kilometers away from the second consecutive KOM, which is Eichenberg. Eichenberg is again an interesting climb, and we're seeing again well positioned Team UK and also Panache de Neromen here, and Team UK. I think Team UK is going to take again again the KOM sprint, and it's tight, but I think it's Team UK winning again. I think on I don't know who is I don't know the jersey actually. I don't know the jerseys. But for sprinting for Eichenberg, a big group dropped, and it's about to go on the Wolvenberg, which is the last KOM, and it's about to start the sprint, and it's again Team UK winning it. So a full set of KOMs for Team UK that won every single KOM we had in those past 10 kilometers. Now they're on Oleweg, which is the 1.2 kilometers cobble section. The group behind counts now 18 members, 18 riders, but it was actually a bit reduced before. So actually, climbs probably made some riders spend much more than they intended. We're seeing some attack now because we see E2 formed, and I think it's again a member of PCM UK. Yeah, it's Swagzone attacking Cavendish, which is going to be useful to work. Now, behind was Super Meme, a Foro podcast relaying with Solipay actually. We're on the Aghoek 900 meters, 3 stars couple. And it's mainly Team UK working because actually, obviously, they have most of their team ahead. They have basically, they are on the attack trying to drop the other teams. So behind, Super Super Meme Foro podcast has to take the main responsibility because actually the group is so reduced, 10 riders now, and I think basically that Team UK has the number advantage here. So now Berendries, which is one of the hardest tarmac climbs here, and it's again Team UK winning it. So actually again some points. Now they have 1 minute on the group behind, and now let's see what happens because this advantage can be a good advantage going into the final part of the stage, which is notably the hardest one, because now after 10 kilometers of mostly flat, even if it's not totally flat, there are so many small climbs, small rises, small downhills. So actually so not so easy to intend. Okay, we go to Group B here. We go to Group B because actually I got a notification that Laxers had their couple guy behind, but I think now he came back because now they're working in P in the peloton. So situation is Group behind. He's still behind. So actually, they have to work. Okay, the situation is this: in Group B, we have Laxers that are the only ones having their couple rider in group behind. So now it's 3 versus 1, and they have 2 minutes. They have 2 minutes. They are 2 minutes behind. So we stay in Group B until the intermediate sprint, even if in Group A actually they are approaching the hardest part of the race because they're going to Nocteberg. But now it's 20 kilometers, so let's see what happens because surely they have a numeric disadvantage because it's 3 versus 1, but they have most helpers trying to work. So we will see in the next kilometers what will happen. So we come back to Group A because in Group A we actually have the most important situation. We have the most important situation because PCM UK team has been caught. So now Nocteberg again going to PCM UK team. Second place has been caught by La Panache de Nairomen team. So actually we will have a lot of KOMs in the next kilometers because we will have Canarieberg, which is an hard tarmac climb, which is a third category. And in fact, there is a PCM UK rider Cummings, controlled by Joe Whiteley, that is going to win again the KOM because he went alone and he made it to the intermediate climb. Yeah, climb is very hard, and we are seeing riders from Show FC trying to catch at least some points on this climb.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
But I think they didn't because I think the second place on this KOM was again for Super Meme. No, La Panache de Roman. Now, Joe Whiteley waited Herrera, El Colombiano, because in two they actually could try to go, but now again Joe Whiteley goes trying to drop and to go alone, trying to win Oud Kruisberg, Oud Kruisberg KOM, and I think it will go this way because he actually has 24 seconds at the start of the climb, 900 meters, and Herrera's rider seems to be a bit in difficulty, and it's Joe Whiteley again winning the KOM. And as we can see, Herrera's rider just died, finished this energy. Actually, Super Meme for a podcast has probably the advantage here because they have three riders in the group, and so it seems good for them. But we will see because actually I don't think they didn't get at all some KOM points. So let's pay some attention to them. In fact, Miru here was trying to attack, but he picked the worst moment ever to try. So group is reduced to 9 riders, and here he goes. Here he goes. Miru going to attack, trying to get some advantage, but he didn't. He was immediately catched. So actually, I think it will be. We will see a battle on climbs, and the last climbs are arriving because now we are on Nocteberg. Nocterberg is actually the last tarmac climb, 1.3 kilometers, 7.3%. And again, now it's about. I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be La Panache and Ironman. Okay, we go to Group B now because we're almost on the. No, okay, we passed the sprint here because I didn't see the notification. But in Group. Okay, we stay in Group A. Wait a sec.
Another attack in the leading group.
Okay. We stay in Group A because actually they're going up to
This
Udo
climb features some
Quaremont.
dreadful percentages.
Udo Quaremont to the first 5
It's
stars
going to take
cable
them all
climb,
by
and
itself.
it's again an attack
They're
by PCM UK team, which is trying to go hard on this climb, trying to make the difference, and it's Super Meme for a podcast leader going with them. Again, the KOM has been taken. And actually, it seems like Tutur is a bit, it's in a bit of trouble. Yeah, Tutur had the energies to try to
falling
stay with
behind.
them,
The
but
team
he
leader is
didn't.
falling behind.
Yeah, he didn't. Actually, he didn't. And the other
There's the
riders
lead,
are at
heading
the
home.
start of Paterberg. So actually, Paterberg, and it's again PCM UK winning the KOM. I think they're trying to win with their. I think they're trying to win with their Hill Rider, but I think it's a mostly impossible task here because they have 1 minute of disadvantage. 1 minute disadvantage, and let's see what happens because it's 3 versus 1. Now, Seneschal is working very hard trying to get back. And let's see, because last climb isn't an easy one. It's Koppenberg. And road narrows here. Road narrows here. And we are at the start of the final climb of the climb of the day. It's Koppenberg here. And Seneschal, after doing all this work, mostly dropped. Yeah. And this is bad because actually, yeah, it's again 3 couple leaders going three couple leaders going. Now they have to work because actually, if they make um, two riders behind come back, it's finished for them. And I think actually the most interest is on Panache de Nairoman and PCM UK because actually they don't have their couple riders, and also Super Meme for a podcast can actually rely on the fact they have a leader ahead and their second riders in the group behind. So actually, the most of the work has been made by Show FC team, and now we are going behind. Like, okay, now it's five riders here, and it's Solipay trying to attack, trying to go, but no one can do now the difference because we are 3 kilometers from the finish. So very difficult to go. And let's see what happens now because actually it will be a tense sprint. We stay ahead. I hope we stay ahead because actually it's a tense sprint. And it's about launching. It's about launching, and Swagson seem to have lost the timing for the sprint, and it's me winning. So Super Meme, Aforo Podcast winning. And PCM UK did actually a bad sprint, closing their race in 5th place. Second place for La Panache de Nairoman, third place for Show FC, fourth place again for Super Meme for a podcast, and yeah, actually, this is a pretty disappointing results for PCM UK. And that's all I can say. Now we go to Group B because actually Group B is continuing on this stage. We have Barbosa ahead. We are in the long flat part until the start of Nocteberg. Behind, actually, again, Laxers are the only one working because I think the other couple leaders are ahead, but now they reduced to one rider each. And now I think it's the moment where Laxers have to do the most effort because if they stay behind, now it can be a problem. But if they catch the riders ahead, this will be a massive advantage because I think their leader has been the most protected. So he should have spent less energies. Now Fefe trying to move, trying to come back in the first group E2, trying to work for his leader. So this is actually a good move, but he stopped. He isn't okay. Now he went again to push, but Ivar closed on him, so actually useless move. And Laxers are closing their gap from the other leaders. So this can be interesting, but now Team Portugal is trying to go on the attack with Eddie K trying to catch Barbosa ahead. The KOM has been won by Tuanu. Now, I'm curious to see because actually, while their leaders were ahead fighting, I think most of the other teams just protected their 82 ill riders. And I'm watching Team Portugal having actually their leader, their 82 heel rider controlled by Jose Pereira. So I think this can be an interesting situation because I think Team Portugal could win this stage actually, unless something happens like blocks. Those kind of things can always happen. And in the meantime, KOM Canariaberg has been won by Snake, I think, probably. While now there are movements from Luxers, while our stream is going very bad at the moment. I see blurred. I see totally blurred. Now, okay, the situation is this one. Luxers have a big numeric disadvantage. And there is an attack again from Team Skype team. Yeah, Skype team. And again, it's about Luxers closing. Laxers are doing big work, but actually they have only 2 riders, while everyone else has 4. Portugal has 5 going into the final kilometers, and this can be a bad thing. Now, Kruisberg. Kruisberg climb, and it's Turgis going for it. Turgis and so Snake and ADK going for it, but it's Snake winning it. So let's see behind what happens, because we've probably witnessed a block, because Ivar asked about that. Team Portugal actually lost 2 riders in like 2 kilometers, because on the climb 2 riders died totally. So actually, okay, one came back. So let's see what will happen, because actually numbers are in favor of PCM Portugal and Skype. Dumardi as Leo Falandri with his 82 heel rider. So actually not a bad position to be either. And again an attack by Guilherme. I think Guilherme is trying to go for the KOM on the Nocteberg, which is the last one on tarmac, as we've seen before in live stream of Group A, but he didn't get advantage, and he has been passed. He tried to go, but the pace was very high. And now we're seeing for the first time Jose Pereira ahead, trying to take second and first place in the KOM. He got the first, not the second, because the second place was taken by Ghosty, so European Laxers. Now Jose is spending so much energy with his 77 couple rider, which could be useful now, because now we're starting the most important place of the most important section of the race, because now we have Udo Quaremont, Paterberg and Koppenberg, and we are at the start of Udo Quaremont, and Team Skype is the best placed, but Portugal basically surpassed them, and it's the 82 heel rider by Jose Pereira, which is the best place at the moment. Dumardi is still relying on Turgis, so on the cable rider, trying to take the most sprint as the most mountain sprint as possible. And while Connefroy, so their heel rider, is still relying. Now, yeah, the fact is now the only one with the 82 heel rider ahead is Team Portugal. Now let's see if this gap can be closed by the others. But I think now we can have basically the most important situation, because here again it's Morgado, so it's again Jose Pereira with his 82 rider. Connefroy came back, and he will stay in the group even after Paterberg. So actually we have 3 hill riders, and the only one not having a hill rider is actually obviously Laxers. Laxers are in a bad place at the moment, and Bogert is trying to come back, but all those energies he's spending, I think they will come back for him. So now we will see the final showdown on Koppenberg, and on Koppenberg I think, yeah, positioning will be key for the 82 hill riders, and Leo Falandri and Jose Pereira knows this very well. In fact, they're trying to be the best positioned here. It's Petit for Skype taking the first place here, and Petit going to win the intermediate sprint, I think. And Connefroy is probably now the best 82 hill rider, because actually he's the only one staying with the other riders. Jose Pereira tried to climb on a most relaxed pace. Now everyone stopped, because obviously no one wanted to take Leo Falandri's rider to the finish, and everyone as their heel rider. So actually, it's about to be very equal. It's 6 kilometers from the finish. 6 kilometers from the finish. I think we will see a train sprint because actually everyone, and it's Leo Falandri attacking. Leo Falandri trying to go. Leo Falandri trying to go, and he's chased by Jose Pereira. Jose Pereira closely followed by Gosti. Skype didn't make a move, so actually, we will see if they've been the smartest, not trying to move. We're going into the final sprint, 3 kilometers from the finish. Now it's still Team Skype approaching the sprint in first place. It's Petit, so it's Suanu launching the sprint. And it's Jose Pereira. Jose Pereira takes the lead, but now is surpassed by Leo Falandri. So Leo Falandri wins the stage ahead of Jose Pereira, third place for Laxers, and fourth place for Skype. Actually, I think that Laxers saved the day, but they will lose so many points in this stage because actually they didn't do at all KOM points. So great sprint by Leo Falandri. So for Dumardi, we got the win. Win for Dumardi, second place for Team Portugal, third place for European Laxers, fourth place for Team Skype. Now let's go to Group A. Let's go to Group A. In Group A, we've started from 20 kilometers. We can have the general classification while I'll read it after this sprint. This sprint won by La Panache de Nairoman. So actually, general classification after stage 1 is Super Meme Aforo Podcast 134 points, La Panache de Nairoman 105 points, PCM UK 86 points, Show FC 58 points. If you could Emmea, se puoi, scrivimi su WhatsApp i cambi perché su Discord non li vedo. Okay, we are on the second mountain sprint, Owlers Den, 1.5 kilometers, 6.4%, and it's PCM UK that plays on home field here, going to win the KOM with Froome actually making himself useful here in this hill and cobble terrain. It's the second stage on cobble, which is pretty unique because actually we've had so many cobble stage in this World Cup. So many cobble stage that I expected a mountain stage with cobble. Well, now we are 13 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. The first intermediate sprint. It comes after, to be honest, I think it's a shit place, actually, because it's right after the end of the downhill. So I'm very curious to see, while in the meantime, we have some some La Panache de Nairoman riders trying to get again in the group. So I'm really curious to see how this sprint will unfold, because actually the best tactic looks like being already ahead, and that's what some riders are trying to get. If I don't remember, yeah, it's Super Meme for a podcast with La Panache de Nairoman going on the attack on this small rise, on this small bump, and so Show FC trying to join them, but actually their train has been relayed back, Stiro Stride, but he couldn't. And it's Joe Whiteley now pacing very hard, trying to come back, because the sprint is actually after this steep downhill with an interesting an hairpin, and the sprint is launched and it's about to be won by Cavendish. So Swagzone for PCM UK won the intermediate sprint, the first one. And yeah, I was curious to see how this sprint would unfold, and I'm quite satisfied because we've seen some nice tactic to win it. That was fun. And now Tutur is going on the attack. Tutur is going on the attack with the 82 mountain riders because now we are on the Wayne Stalls Hill, which is actually one of the hardest climbs of the day, if not the hardest one, because it's the only second category one, 2.2 kilometers at 9.3%. Very steep climb, and Godu is taking advantage with Landa behind, so Tutur and Miru fighting for this KOM. Though these are the steepest percentages, and it looks like Miru going to win the KOM. He won it, even if Tutur made him suffer until the finish. So now we have this false flat, and then it will be second intermediate sprint. And now second intermediate sprint looks like will be. It seems like it will be contested by Godu and Landa because they got 1 minute. They got actually 1 minute here. I'm following with Tutur, but now let's try to go on the Big Dog stream because the Big Dog stream allows me to watch the gap actually. So 1 minute 32. So the first two plays at Oxenhope are going to be contested by Super Meme for a Podcast and Show FC. No, not Show FC, but no, yeah, Show FC. And sprint is going to be launched again. We have a downhill sprint, so actually you have to launch pretty soon. I didn't see one, but I'm seeing Team PCM UK placing many riders. But I think the sprint for the third place was won by Show FC again. So Show FC have done much points, many points, this intermediate sprint. Now, this intermediate sprint will be closely followed by 2 cobble climbs, 3 category, third category. So actually not the hardest climb of the day. In the meantime, we're still waiting for updates from Group B. I think they still have to start. And it's Hainwork Climb. Hainwork Climb, we will follow it from Tutor stream because actually we are on it. And Godu against Landa on the steepest percentages of the climbs. Tutor seems to have gained a decisive advantage here. But Landa now is trying to close the gap, he's trying to close, and I think he will pass Tutor in the end, and he wins the KOM on Hainworth. So now let's see if the group behind splits because we're seeing many riders lost. Some riders lost, for example, the sprinter for PCM UK, which actually did the best as he could. He did some points on the intermediate sprint, so it was his goal. But I hope we go ahead now. Yeah, we're going ahead because we're on climb to Long Lee, and again it looks like Tutur and Miru will contest it because actually they still have a pretty good advantage, 1 minute and 30 seconds. It is dropping, but again Tutur I think is going to be passed in the last 100 meters. No, now he timed his sprint better than last time, and he won it. So
Meets World
Lee,
again. Hello, guys.
Hi, the big dog. Hi, Sean. How are
How is
you?
it going? I'm good, and you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just trying
I,
to do my best doing English commentary here.
I could be doing better if the theme of these World Championships wasn't ratting, but so far so good.
Yeah, yeah. I think this game is always the same. If you rat, you win.
I
That's all.
well,
I was watching Group A, no, Group B, which is the other one.
yeah,
So
I'm still seeing it as I'm streaming it, and Godu from Tutu and Landa from Miru trying to be free with still 1 minute and 15 ahead of the 20 riders left in the peloton. The white, attacking with McClay and Christopher Froome. He's followed by Solipe and Quintana, respective counterpart in
Yeah.
Cobra.
And basically now the group came back together because actually everyone was trying to get on this train, and so Miru and Tutur still got an advantage, even if it's very reduced from the one they had before. Now Holden Hill, 2.3
My game
kilometers.
says Cavendish won the intermediate sprint, so that's great.
Yeah, first intermediate sprint was won by Cavendish. Second one, I think, between Landa and Godu, actually, because obviously they
Yeah,
were
Bordeaux,
ahead.
Landa, Cavendish third,
Okay, it was
Giovanni
Godu.
fourth.
Yeah, and many
Now,
points for PCM UK. Now,
Goduk and Miro taking the 1-2 in the KOM. Third
yeah,
was
again.
Pitcock for Slacks.
Yeah, actually, I think this break is blocking a bit the unfolding of the race because of this. Actually, two teams aren't trying anything because obviously they're getting so many points
Was there a
in
crash in
KOMs.
the other group?
Yeah, we can go to the other group because I think no,
No,
they're
I'm asking.
starting.
No, I'm asking if there was a crash.
No, they're starting
They're
right
delayed.
now. Yeah. They were already late because actually when we started, you were 50 kilometers ahead. So actually, they're pretty late.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Romeo, for the clarification.
So actually, again, Tutur winning the intermediate sprint, spending many energies. In fact,
The
Landa
KOM.
actually didn't do anything. Again, Pidcock going for intermediate for last point available. No, he didn't
No,
get any points because four category are 2-1. So actually, the situation is
okay.
this one because Landa and Tutur's 82 mountain are doing massive amount of points, while PCM UK is working alone because actually Panache isn't working, and in fact we are seeing Joe Whiteley trying to ask them to work, obviously, because actually
But I
it's 2 versus 2.
I heavily doubt it's going to happen if it's any indication of we saw in the first stage.
Yeah. If I have to trust who played with them, I think they won't work so much. Again, a sprint one for Tutur. Again, 2 points. So, and behind
Miru
the
just doing his best impersonation of Quintana and Froome's wheel in the heydays of Christopher
yeah,
Froome.
yeah. Actually, I think this is the first time in last 20 kilometers I'm seeing Miru putting his wheel ahead. And in the meantime, behind we are seeing some attacks
Okay,
because
we quickly go. Sorry to interrupt you, Rossi. We quickly go into Group B for the start, and then we'll move back
okay,
to
let's
finish
go.
Group A.
Yeah. So in Group B, we don't have actually any move, even if we're closing on ship's lane. So the first climb of the day, first category, as we've seen already before. I think on the rampage, maybe probably Skype team with the Hush, which was ahead. So for the moment, no movements, but I think soon they will start because actually we have two climbs in the space of less than 10 kilometers. So we will see if this will be basically a sprint for the two sprints for the KOM, or if someone tries to go anticipating. On this climb, I can bet it will be a sprint. In fact, we have basically trains preparing, and we've seen Snake for PCM Dumardi team taking the first position now that we are 1.4 kilometers from the finish. In fact, we are seeing Snake accelerating, and the best train was actually for PCM Dumardi, but actually the points are going to PCM Portugal. So PCM Portugal won the first KOM. Now, not many rest because actually climb will be closely followed by another climb. The group has split behind though. In fact, we are seeing A1 with 6 riders. I'm very interested to see who is in A1. But behind, we're going to see
It's
it's
Giuseppe
Joseph.
Leiva and someone from the Lakers. Not sure who. Not ML. The original streamer. I think it's supposed to be was not showing us. It's
Yeah, it's It's Tyver, and Jose Pereira blocked. Jose was complaining about a small block, and I think that's why they are.
Okay,
have been blocked.
current, sorry to interrupt you, Rusty. Current classification for Group A, B. Village is
Don't
leading
worry, don't worry.
131 points. Portugal second, 119. Team Skype third, 82. And Luxor's fourth, 58. Similar situation in Group A. Super Meme leads 134, almost the same points. Le Panache is second, 105. PCM UK is third, 86. Show FC fourth, and in the mud with 58. We switch to the end of Group A right now.
Yeah, let's go to Group A actually. So we are 20 kilometers from the finish, and we are on the hardest climb of the day, Trooper Lane, which is also a cable climb. We're seeing Stiros, 78.
Felipe, I think it's going to be Felipe. Yeah, because Stiros
Yeah.
was dead there.
And
Yeah,
many points for La Panache de Nero, man.
Yep.
On this Trooper Lane, which actually is almost split the group, even if no one paced so hard. Okay, group now split, and we will see the sprint for Beacon Hill.
There's
Again,
a
1
split,
kilometer.
and I see Igita and Cummings.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be for the Colombian. Yes, it is.
Igita won the sprint with Cummings
French player,
closely.
ASG Colombian rider, and the other one is Ibra with Stephen Cummings.
Yeah, and now they will try probably to go to the second to last KOM. Okay, they stopped, but behind the Super Meme for a podcast team had to close on them because actually they were in a bad position. Now
Acceleration on bank top now. Sergio Igita at the front.
Yeah, Sergio Igita is spending much energies. I think he won't have in the sprint then. But let's see, because actually Super Meme for a podcast are a bit
Tana moving for the second place, and Cummings, I believe, for the 1 point. No, actually, yeah. 1 point.
Yeah, now La Panache has the most riders, because actually they have 2, while everyone else has 1, even if someone is going to come back. And it's 2 riders for Super Meme for a podcast, which are going to have, again, the numerical advantage, like they had in the previous stage, while PCM UK has the worst numbers, actually, with the Show FC. So now, on the last climb of the day, let's see what happens on Ainley top, which is 3.4 kilometers, 5.2%. Not the hardest of climbs, so actually I think Miru as Landa, and
I think it's Barna, Madouaz moving to the front, and there is Sergio Igita on his left.
Yeah, now they have to do something, because actually they have to. I think now Show FC and PCM UK should try to limit damages, because actually they are in the bad position, I think. So the sprint has been won by La Panache de Nero Men, but they have their riders dead, the KOM, and they have their riders mostly dead at 3.9 kilometers from the finish.
Yeah, Miru has the 78 sprinter though, so that's
but
a very
I think
good
he's
position.
I think he's in a bad position, because
he's probably without red after that effort, or without full red at least.
Now he came back ahead, and now he's going to comfortably win, I think, unless he.
Sprint is underway. It's gonna be launched. Miru on the right side. It's gonna be for the Spanish, I think. Waiting for PCM UK doing the comeback. It's gonna be for Miru.
It's coming. It's Cummings.
It's Cummings. It's Cummings.
It's Cummings winning. Actually, that was a big surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought Miru had it there, but Superbeam does second and third. Show FC does fourth. La Panache is fifth place, corresponding to the work they did so far in this semi-final. Sprint now in Group B, Sprint now in Group B, I'm being told.
Yeah, let's go to Group B. We are after the second intermediate sprint that has been won by European Luxers. Skype took the second place, third place again for European Luxers, while the first intermediate sprint was won by Ville Dumardi team, which did actually first and second place, so actually 17 points for them. A good points income. Now we are on the hardest climb of the day for probably the hardest climb of the day. Percentages worth. Hainworth. Sorry for the game for the word game, and it's Ush trying to pace very hard on this Hainworth climb.
Sorry, I had to go shout, "Let's fucking go" with my teammates.
Yeah, let's go.
Our teammates, actually.
In the meantime, KOM has been won by who is the black fascist? Oh no, okay. Dumardi
shit.
team, Dumardi
Shit,
team,
shit.
Dumardi team. Okay.
Completely forgot I had to retire my rider. Might as well take him to the end now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, it's 3 riders ahead. I think they will go. They will try to go on Long Lee. Ush with Pare Pentre trying to go on Long Lee climb because even if it has cobbles, so actually the 78 mountain riders doesn't do so a big sprint here, a big speed on this climb. Surely, actually, to take him behind, they have to spend much energy. In fact, it's Turgi. So for PCM Dumardi going again, the cobble riders winning the intermediate sprint, second place for PCM Portugal. And actually third place for Show FC, no, for Sky team. Actually, there are so many French teams. I got lost with their names.
Yeah,
It's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult.
I can totally understand that. Quick reminder here. Classification of stage 2 in Group A. Stephen Cummings winning. The meme guys take second and third, and fourth is Show FC. Fifth is Panache.
Yeah.
I think it was on the same time, so I believe they take fourth place points.
No, yeah, they got it. They got them because actually they were together.
Yeah, because it was the same split. Yes.
In the meantime, I have still flashbacks of this stage being played in Ithaca Road, and it was very spectacular. But in this team competition, we are not seeing any of that. Actually, we are seeing pretty boring races. I think mostly for the wind in this particular group.
Alden Hill begins 2.2
Yeah.
kilometers at 264 meters of altitude and 7.3% average. Portugal moving. I did not see who, but it's Swanu and Hush trying to follow. Gusty with his 3 men moving to try and not let the gap happen. And Portugal is going to take this KOM unless Swanu's going to steal it.
I was watching behind. There is someone who has been dropped.
Yeah, I don't know who that team is, but I'm not sure which rider.
And now we have also the 82. We have some PCM Portugal riders trying to come back.
I see Guilherme, Juanu, and not sure if it was Hush because I believe there was a second Skype there.
I think it's mostly helpers. So no one important.
All right, and 20 men left with 49 kilometers to go. By the way, we're going to be here until the end of the group because there's a big flat in stage 3, so we'll have time to see the end of this stage.
So PCM Portugal winning the intermediate sprint. The KOM on Otley Hill, and we have some riders trying to.
There's a gap open there with Juanu and Guilherme.
Yeah, it's quite big now because it's 1 minute and a half, but they're alone. So in the meantime, PCM Dumardi team is trying to profit of this situation, going with 2. Even if
Village Dumardi, actually.
Yeah, Village Dumardi.
That matters, but it's the same.
Sorry. Yeah, they.
No, it's I mean, it's
their
the
names
PCM community, but like you say, yeah, a lot of French teams, it's confusing. I can understand that. Cool. Now moving into Sandy Hill.
Yeah, and we have 2 Portugal riders, and it's Guilherme trying to go for the KOM.
Village moved with someone, not sure who.
No, this is Skype. I think this is Skype.
No,
this is Village.
Village is arriving at the group. Village is arriving. There we go. They were.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
okay,
the last rider there. I don't know which one, but there's one there. I'm pretty sure. 100% sure.
okay, okay. Well,
In each
PCM
team.
Portugal took the KOM. This is for sure.
Yeah,
And
and
behind, we're watching a situation.
it's T2. It's T2 from Villa. And now another Portuguese moves to help Guilherme. It's
Yeah,
Azevedo. So it's José Pereira, I think.
yeah, they're trying to create this duo ahead, trying to go for the KOMs.
In
Actually, it's not many points, but actually it's worth it.
in
And
your opinion, do you think that a gap here could be something they take advantage to take to the end, or mostly for the points?
well, I think it's about points, even if we're very close to the finish. But these continuous efforts in the end are going to be paid. For sure, we are watching. Yeah, okay, now that European Luxers are not in the position to work because actually they're trying to make their riders going ahead.
Tremendous pace now from both Guilherme and
Yeah,
José Pereira. José managing
yeah.
to accompany his leader. Very good work from the Portuguese legend, but the others are arriving.
Yeah, the behind are arriving, but they have 1 minute on the group. And it's Guilherme taking again this KOM with Tuanu. This is a pattern we've seen
Portugal and
in many
Sky are
KOMs.
very sharp on the KOMs and intermediates so far.
Yeah, they are. And okay, actually behind it's only Team Village du Mardi working now, and they have a pretty big disadvantage now because Almeida has 40 seconds on the group behind.
There's an
Um,
attack from
yeah.
T2.
T2 taking the second place, third place for Gossi. I don't think it would be rewarded though
Gossi.
because it was a fourth category.
Gossi is trying to keep up with the French, but the French has 8 seconds there. Gossi is about to close, and he will with Poinou and José Pereira. José Pereira, the
Yeah,
only
the
78
gap is
mountain
very
rider
big.
there.
Actually, the gap is very big, so I
It
don't
is.
know if.
Can
Yeah.
Guilherme be riding away into the sunset here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it may
T2
happen.
attacks, T2 attacks. José Pereira cannot keep up, but Poinou and Gossi are.
Yeah, are finished. While Guilherme has still some energy to
Oh.
spend.
Terrible for Kukaip there. He's finished, and Cosset from Gossi got third.
Yeah.
The third place.
Well, I think they are all pretty finished. To be honest.
Yeah, and
Let's see.
Gossi is moving.
Almeida maybe is the one with more energies. But I think now it's Almeida winning, or the group behind come back. Because actually,
We
I
have
can see the one
Farnu
behind.
almost closing. Farnu is there with Carapaz and Cooper Lane 0.5 kilometers, but in 10th one.
Yeah, again for Guilherme the KOM, and they have a pretty big advantage.
Great job so far. Portuguese is smashing this stage, getting a lot of KOM points. Can he do it until the end, though?
Yeah, this is now the big question because actually he has a big advantage, but he's spending many energies. It's to be said that on this kind of route, this kind of parcours, you don't spend so much because actually you spend on climbs, but there are pretty much many downhills, so it's you can try at least to recover. But now again, he get caught.
The two French riders taking the wheel of Colsat from Ghosty, and now they close
Now
on
they
him, but
stop.
very briefly. Yeah, they stopped.
Yeah, now they stopped.
It's
And
so
now,
bizarre.
yeah,
that
Almeida now
watching
has
here.
1 minute of the group behind on the peloton. He continues on this pace, but I don't think he will win now. I mean, okay. In fact, he's dying. He died. Actually, he died.
And now it's T2 at Romain Bardet. Second goes for Ghosty. Not sure if
I think we have to go behind. Yeah, because behind is the most interesting situation because actually we have Connefroy from Leo Falandri going into the attack. So actually, those riders ahead will make the difference as helpers. And Connefroy almost dropped. I mean, he almost dropped because I watched him a bit behind, but probably was just taking water.
I thought it
because
would be Paiva with the 78 rider, but I guess it wasn't. It's probably EDK, not sure who the third Portuguese is.
well, 78 riders may be in A1 to be honest,
No,
and
earlier. I mean early.
no, well, I think they
Think it's
just
EDK then.
yeah, and I don't know. I probably they decided that it wasn't worth it. Also because they didn't watch probably
No, I just wasn't sure who had them, but it doesn't matter now. It's
yeah, it should
Romain
be ADK.
Bardet,
It should be ADK.
Coolset. Uh,
Yeah, they're going for the last KOM sprint.
it's
Ain't
going
it?
to be a long kilometer for Ghosty, and I don't think T2. I don't think it was T2. I don't think T2 is going to make it. Billy O'Falandri is going to pass him on the line, and Ghosty gets second.
Yeah.
Third is Ivar.
And Ivar trying to go, but he stopped. Okay, now it's okay. There is a good advantage in numbers for European Luxers, but now we will see if they can use it. These I don't know. These I don't know. They have to be good in managing the sprint. I think they were going with separate
There's a
sprint, but
move there from
Ivar
Leo
was in the
Falaki, who
worst
is the first
position.
to sprint. And now I think Leo has it. I think Leo has it. Leo going to have it. The second going to be first.
Yeah.
The third, the third is going to be for Skype. It's Fefe. And Ivar is the fourth place. Terrible position for
Yeah.
Ivar, as you call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And well.
He had the worst positioning here.
So, Village winning with Fefe. Second place, Separate. Third was Skype for, no. Fefe, third for, no. Fefe is Village. Third is someone from Skype, I don't remember. Fourth was Ivar. I believe we're going to Group A, see how things are unfolding.
Yeah, let's go to Group A, and we are
We
at
go
the start
indeed.
of the climb. No, yeah, we are very far from the climbs because they just started.
We have Solipay in E1, and E2 has 9 riders. Let me quickly brief you on this because I'm there as well. Puncher for Solipay in E1. Then we have Puncher as well for Barna. We have Puncher as well for Panarth. And we have, of course, Puncher as well for PCM UK with Ibra.
I think the situation actually isn't defined yet because I think some riders will try to put the 78 mountain riders in the break for sure. It makes sense to be honest because actually there are the biggest climb in the first part. The first climbs are the biggest ones, so actually it will make sense. And while I don't think that Solipay move makes sense because
I think it makes it doesn't make sense that he keeps insisting on it. That's for sure.
yeah,
He's burning
because
his
actually,
helper.
yeah, it's just consuming Lascano, while it will be more useful if we just stop.
Whatever Lascano is, it sounds good. You didn't hear me, sorry, Rossi?
No, I didn't get what you said.
You said something that looked like Italian. That should be good. I was talking about energy. Maybe you said that, or maybe because I'm having cuts
I
here.
said I said Lascano.
Yes, I have no idea what that is. But...
Yeah, which is the name of Solipay riders.
I didn't even notice, and I'm actually clicking on him. Yeah, he's definitely
Oh.
consuming too much energy. Not just with Lascano, even with ARVT, that's what I'm pulling. And Valverde isolated this long in comparison with the others isn't doing well either.
Yeah, and as I said, this is not the most the smartest of moves.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's thinking here or what Mean is thinking here. What logic could you try and see in this? Because this effort that Lascano, Erviti, and Valverde are subjecting themselves to, it seems quite useless. Wouldn't you agree?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
I was saying, what logic can we try and see in this? Because Lascano, Erviti, and Valverde, they're just wasting bars at this point.
Yeah, actually, I mean, while I think he's just trying to make people behind work, I think that's a bad execution of the idea because actually they're working way slower than Solipay did, and they're working together. So actually now Solipay came to senses because I think his 83 flat rider is mostly dead. So he decided to
Yeah.
stop,
Well,
obviously.
I guess he had no other chance than to come to his senses.
Yeah, okay, now we have a most interesting situation. Because now, okay, we have I mean, to be honest, what confuses me is that we have literally only the 82 hill rider in this group. We have 4 hill riders, but the hill rider is actually the only one who can climb in this group. But then we have 2 flat guys. So this in some way confuses me because actually, what do you do with those flat guys? Because if you try to use them trying to gain advantage for climbs,
I'm
even if
going
you
to tell
gain,
you. I'm going to tell you what I think happened here, except the solid play part, because maybe there's someone that can explain that in PCM's brain. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there so long isolated. I'm gonna say that the rest, what I think happened here, was just the usual. Let's see who moves, and one C team moved, which is solid pace, and
yeah, for
the others
sure.
followed their counterparts because it's the automatic response a lot of times in teams, and from there it's just a standoff right now.
Yeah, for sure. This was what happened.
Movement now
But
from El Colombiano with the 78 Mountain team.
okay, now this makes sense, and I think everyone will move
Yeah,
behind
and
him.
now finally the games begin for real because this makes sense to add now the 78s to those already in break is a good move
Yeah,
and an
now it
expected
makes
one.
sense. Yeah, now definitely makes sense. But they had to make the 73 riders take 3 minutes.
Well, I don't think it was badly that bad at the end for them because this part
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
really a big flat part and they used the 83 flat to put those guys ahead. But yeah, they could have
Yes,
sent
yes,
both
but
teams if you ask me.
yeah, but that's basically why I'm confused about the
Yeah, yeah,
choice of
same, same,
going
same,
now
same,
on the attack with the 78 mountain because
same,
actually
same, same.
having the 78 mountain ahead with those flat guys would be maybe more useful.
Yeah, I
Instead,
have no
now
idea.
you have to basically manage 3 different trains
I think
separated by 2 minutes with totally different riders.
I think,
So
like I said, that it was the case of the standoff. The first person made a move, waited to see what the others do. The others sent their counterparts, and then everybody waited until finally someone, in this case, I don't know, that Panache took the initiative of sending a 78.
I think it's all about people watching each other.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Someone dropped a rider from E2. Yeah, because we are seeing E3 now. We're seeing, and we have an attack in the peloton. So I think it's yeah, it's an attack by La Panache de Nairomen, who is trying to get away from the others. Alder badly executed the idea because he was closed because actually he pressed the button too soon, the maintain button too soon, and he was
Yeah,
dropped by his own teammate. So actually,
it's my
that
stream that you're following,
execution,
right? Just to be in sync
yeah,
with you. Okay. We have Frabo now attacking the other 78 riders for some bizarre
yeah,
reason.
and this is another bullshit move because yeah, I mean, now everyone will react. Obviously, okay, they're trying to use their numeric advantage because obviously now they are with the 3 riders, while PCM UK and La Panache de Neroman for different things are in numeric disadvantage. And let's see, because Tutur doesn't seem too keen on leaving Frabo going, and he's closing for everyone else. While
Uh,
Frabo
we
was
have the
waited,
full situation currently. Sorry to interrupt you, Crosby. Group
yeah,
A, after stage 2, Super Meme is still leading 236 points, but now it's PCM UK in second, 24 points behind with 212. Third is Panache 174. So FC is fourth 154. Group B, Village now takes the lead with 269 points, or extend their lead. Portugal second 214. Team Skype third 174, and European Luxers fourth 115. Not looking good for the Luxers.
Yeah,
Not really good at all.
pretty close situations in both groups.
Yeah,
I think
but
Super Meme are mostly going to the next round, probably.
yeah, I think Panache, the only major shot Panache still has is trying to get the second place from PCM UK. So it's a fight between UK and Panache. And then Group B, it's the same thing between Portugal and Skype. Right now, looking better for Portugal and UK, but
Yeah.
not guaranteed yet.
Yeah, no, we still have to see because actually we are not
So
arrived to
the leaders,
intermediates.
the
In
leaders
the,
are attacking. The leaders are attacking
yeah,
again. Zeros.
and actually, yeah, it was. I think it was. It was Super Meme for a podcast attacking, and they've gained an advantage. They've gained a significant advantage in this flat part. And this is a good situation now for them because actually they are first place, and I don't think anyone will work on them. But now
Okay,
PCM UK is trying to join them because
we're
behind it was
quickly.
Joe.
Sorry to interrupt. We're quickly going to acknowledge the start of Group B, but we will remain for now in this Group A because we still have action going here, and we are trying to see what happens here because it's PCM UK moving with two teams to try and catch the breaks. Tiro's trying to free Godu, and Alder with Quintana with him are the two guys further behind. So PCM UK trying to execute a recovery move into the first group to try and be with the Spanish, and right now they are not
They
that
need to.
far.
They need to because actually, if they don't come back, it's game over. Frabo stopped, and this can allow PCM UK to come back, probably.
Yeah, not sure what he
Yeah,
was.
because
PCM UK,
they come back. They've come back,
PCM UK rejoins.
and now let's see
Cavendish
what happens. Now
is
let's see
done
what
here.
happens.
Yes, a terrible position for both Panache and so.
Yeah, Stiros is surely not the most experienced player here. And I think now, with the combination of work for the two best teams, I think namedly are the
But
best team.
Spain is pulling like madmen, trying to keep this gap. UK at
Yeah,
some point will
maybe
have to
maybe
help.
too much. Maybe too
Uh,
much.
Ciro's almost getting. If Alder doesn't pay attention, he might get gapped here.
Yeah, but Stiros is going to spend so much energy, and they got taken.
They
Actually,
rejoin the group.
Super Meme decided not to allow Joe Wild, PCM UK team to recover, which
Yeah,
was actually, yeah,
I think they were
obviously,
not patient. Joe asked for 1 minute, and they were not patient at all.
yeah,
Let's
they were,
see if
they
their
didn't
move
wait.
pays off. Let's see if them trying to not allow PCMK to recover was the best move or not. Now Frabo and Tutu moving to the front. Frabo putting pace. Okay, situation is back to normal, which means we go to Group B.
Yeah, to see situation right now, even if we don't have much of a situation, we have some attacks, but it seems like the group is mostly together. It seems like European Luxers are going on the heavy attack because they had two teams on the attack. And now someone dropped behind A1. If we can check, I think some leaders are behind, but now they're back. Now, so the situation composed again. Now, I think European Luxers will go again heavily on the attack because
We're
actually,
gonna see the KOM in Group A. By the way,
yeah,
sorry, and
yeah, let's
we
go.
have Barna ASG, Ibra, and Solipay all at the front, and they're accelerating now.
The pace was so hard in this A1 that the 83 flat guy made it 2.3 kilometers from the top of Passo Maniva. That's not.
1.6 to go. Yeah, that's not exactly something to be proud of.
Yeah, now let's see the sprint because actually many points
900
guaranteed.
meters, and it's Ibra, it's ASG, it's I believe Solipay, and I don't remember who the other one is, but it's Show FC.
And I think it's
It was so close. I'm not sure.
yeah, but I think it's for Show FC. I
I'll tell
think.
you what my game says, although it's not 100% reliable because I'm not the host. It says Show
Yeah,
FC, Super Meme, Panarth, and UK Fort.
yeah. I don't think UK
And
was
UK
fourth.
Fifth.
Yeah, I don't think it
But,
was fourth, but actually the
I
game
mean,
says that. So
no, the game says that, but I'm not the host. So we move back to Group B. Only
yeah,
Joe Whiteson will know.
yeah. Now we have the break. We have basically the same situation
Situation.
that developed in Group A because actually we have only the 82 Hill Rider teams.
Which I still don't understand, to be honest.
Yeah, actually making them getting an advantage to okay, making them taking an advantage for Passo Maniva is surely a good thing because actually having an
Both the
advantage, maybe
advantage.
they can last more on Passo Croce Domini, which is the longest climb. But so actually, if they are good to manage, they can even go to play the intermediate sprint.
All right, so that explains it. And in the meantime, as it's still nothing of noteworthy happening here, we go to Passo Quattro Domini in Group A.
Yeah, it is started now, and it's a pretty long climb. Pretty long climb, 17.6 kilometers at 6.6 percent, with steep percentages towards the end. And it's Panache de Nero Man attacking with Super Meme for a podcast, but
Yeah, but
then Solipay
Igita
stopped.
drops Igita drops Solipe. I think Solipe. I'm not. He stopped. I'm not sure what happened there actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's dropping back, maybe because actually they're trying to make their 78 rider going to the front. I
Ah,
think.
yes, I see now. Juan is indeed. He's waiting for Juan to help him. And in the meantime, we have the other three punchers moving into the KOM. It's still 15 kilometers to go.
Yeah, it's a long way to the top of the climb, and I think probably the 78th mountain will take them in the end.
There
But
it is.
actually,
There it is. Frabo
yeah,
reaches Solipe.
yeah, and to be honest, I think that they will finish 78 mountain coming. They will finish close their bars to the 73 mountain because actually they have a pretty big advantage. 2 minutes is a lot. For sure, I think us gaming is going to lose some.
We have an update from Group B. Group B. We move quickly to Group B. There was an attack of B teams, I think,
Yeah,
was what
and I
was
think
going
also an
on.
A team, is going on the attack because
Oh,
Ghost's
there's a
team
massive
is
attack now.
going.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
massive attack
and he has
now.
47 seconds. Now let's see who's going to work. Because Ghosty now is going to catch the B team of his. And we have actually pretty on the move the European Luxers team. Because actually they are dominating the race because they are ahead and they're going on the attack. Skype have dropped an helper trying to relay back, but now they are 1 minute behind. Even if there isn't a good coordination, there isn't a good coordination
Coordination
between the
doesn't seem
teams.
good at all, is what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, because actually Ivar still has an advantage. Now they're
Coordination
closing
wasn't
each
good
other. They're
at
closing
all.
each other. There is a pretty strong wind also, so this can be a thing. And they're watching each other. So now this can be a dangerous move from European Luxus because if you get a good advantage here, even if it won't be for free, because you will have to
Oh,
spend some energies on this false flat with the leader
Skype
with suffer.
Skype has someone relaying, and Portugal and Village are just waiting for that man to do his work, as usually they do. And there we go. That's exactly what's happening. And we're going to move again to Pasto Croce Domini in Group A, as we have 78 mountain riders in the front group now by this point.
Yeah, they stopped probably the 73
I see
riders, mountain riders.
Tao, I see Juan, I see. Wait, who else do I see? I see Tutu.
No, I see also standard for
Yeah,
PCM UK.
Standard is actually putting some work. Now, what I don't see is Panache, so they do not have their 78 here. And it's Juan from Fravo making the move. Tutu trying to go with Martinez. Theo Gegenhardt is now going as well. There goes Martinez.
And also Giganart from Swagzone, by Swagzone.
Yeah,
But it seems like Juan has taken a good advantage. Now,
yeah,
now that the hardest part of the climb ends, let's see if he can still keep the advantage,
yeah.
because there
A
is
little bit of false flat
small
here,
downhill.
but it's still an acceleration there from Juan, and Cummings reaching Gegenhardt with Madouas as well. They might be able to help Solipe. Not so lucky yet with the puncher, but he
Yeah.
arrives. And Frabo will have company for the KOM as Stephen Cummings accelerates from Ibra. Passing from everyone. He's going to have also surgery Gita, but it's going to be for Barna. No, ASG,
No.
Barna, and Frabo.
Okay.
And then only Gegenhardt and Cummings, I believe.
Yeah.
And Stannard.
While
Actually, Cummings and
yeah,
Stannard.
Cummings now is in a good position to win the KOM, the intermediate sprint at the end of the downhill.
Which is still 22.2 kilometers away. We're going to stay in there,
Yeah,
but I'm
but
going to do a
all
quick peek
downhill.
at Group B.
By the way, they have 3 minutes on the leaders. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the leaders.
Yeah, indeed. It's quite the gap at this point. Uh, do you think it's enough, or because we still have two climbs to go?
Climbs are pretty short and not that hard.
And not that hard. I mean, the last one is a bit more than the second last, but not that hard. So can this be the winning move here?
I think at certain point someone will stop
Attack
the
from
rider.
Barna. Attack from Barna.
Yeah, that was the right move. That was the right move.
Was well done, but solid pay trying to close with Alejandro Valverde.
Barna got an advantage, but I think it won't be enough because there is a small flat, and if they keep chasing, if we don't get gap, now we
So
got it, but behind they're pushing hard to avoid him getting a good advantage. So let's see what happens because it's pretty tense.
Tanner now pushing in the leaders group quite hard as well.
Yeah, Ibra now the advantage of having a standard is this one because standard has a big downhill stats. In fact, as you can see, the gap has massively dropped. They
There he
gained
is.
they gained 40 seconds here. No, okay, standards hasn't all that downhill. I
No, he
remember.
actually only has 70 downhill, and
Yeah.
the gap is sort of stable now after it dropped a little bit. By the way, although still has 20 seconds here, that can be crucial as we have 4 kilometers to go until the intermediate sprint only.
Yeah, because now behind they will stop while they will keep pushing. They didn't catch him in the right moments, and I feel now he will get the intermediate sprint. So
And he might have gone a bit.
looks like
Let's
he
see.
forgot. Okay, he started already started
ASG,
the sprint.
ASG, ASG, ASG.
Oh, almost
Ooh,
catched.
so
Oh,
close.
Barna won it all the same. Barna won it all the same.
Yeah, and they still managed to ASG still managed to do second. I did not see. I think it was
I
Cummings
think it
third,
was
Valverde fourth.
second place for Super Meme. No, La Panache, third place for Team UK. Okay. And fourth place for La Panache.
Okay, quick
Now,
look. Actually, there's. Hold on. I need to see what's going on in Group B before I call a change.
I think we are on the
Situation.
first climb almost. Yeah.
There's
We're
still
almost on
time to
Passo
see.
Maniva.
We'll stay here until the end then because we have only 28 kilometers to go in this stage. And then we will move fully for Group A and see how things go there. So, 7 guys here,
It's in
only 2
such
minutes and a
perfect.
half, and a quick look at Group of the
I,
leaders
I
says,
I just
yeah,
watched something very strange because I watched Ivar relaying behind while they have their leader in A3. So I don't
well,
know what was happening. It was
not
so strange.
exactly sure, but it's Ivar, not the most famous PCM player, so maybe a mistake there in positioning and ended up doing
Yeah,
that.
now, but they have 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So I think the advantage right now for European Luxers may be interesting to win the stage if they manage it correctly. They're surely trying to get also KOMs, but
Okay,
I
we
think
have
they are in a bad situation.
Alejandro Valverde and Juan again at the attack. 38 seconds they gain to the others. It's now up to for Barna, Ibra, and Swaxon to try and close because ASG is alone with his puncher. His 78 teammate was working for Nairo Quintana, and he's done.
Yeah,
Not done yet, but he seemed like it. And
no,
so,
it
good
actually
situation
just
here.
was low.
Yeah, there we go. It's this is a desperate situation for them, and in the meantime, Juan is isolated in the front.
Juan is going alone.
Yep, good position for him.
Well, it seems like that's a good position, but let's not forget that I think in the downhill he won't recover shit. So it all depends on how bars will be for
Just
him
a
at the
quick,
end of the
not
test
a
result.
movement, not a movement, but just a quick update from Group B, where the no, we are 3 kilometers away from the KOM here as well, and then
Yeah,
the finish. So we stay here.
I
We
think
stay here in Group A.
Luxers
Luxers moved
made
directly
it in
to.
the first group.
Yeah, the leader of Luxers made it to Group 1, but we're actually going to stay here now because the stage is almost over, and we have time to catch up this end and then move back to Group B.
Okay, now let's see. Let's continue stay here because actually, tactically, Frabo could go to the finish because actually, Super La Panache and Super Meme for a Podcast are already first, so I think they've passed already.
Oh, but they
Well,
already moved with Quintana, and now it's up to Miru and Joe
yeah.
and Siros to
Downhill,
play
allow your
catch up.
riders to recover from
Where
that
now
collision.
the 82 riders, the 82 mountain riders are closer than I expected. In the
Yeah,
final kilometers of the climb, they
this
got
is this is
a huge
mostly
acceleration. Yeah,
due to the movement from Nairo Quintana. So here it's
yeah.
I clicked on rather. Sorry, I'm gonna
Yeah,
click
let's see
from
if they can
one
close. Let's see if they can close. Because actually,
29 seconds.
this
Oh,
is a
and
part
I
which is favorable to.
okay. Everyone's back together. I see Quintana. I see Froome,
Yeah.
Juan, and Friolanda, and Tal Gegenhardt from Swaxton is
Yes.
actually now making a move.
And again, he goes, and this can be an interesting move.
9 kilometers to go. Tense situation here.
Yeah, I think it will be an interesting. I mean, it should be in the end a sprint between leaders. Because I think of last climb isn't so long, so I don't see it making many differences. But let's see what happens because for sure it
So
is going to be
PCM
tense.
UK and Panache still have their punchers here.
Yeah, you're the only teams still having it. And now Passo della Presolana, which is pretty hard in the
1.2
middle part.
kilometers. of altitude, 7.5% average at in during 7.3 kilometers. Like you said, quick look at the profile. Very hard there in that middle section.
And there is an attack. I think it's Show FC attacking.
It's Martinez and Cummings from Ibris closing.
Yeah, the advantage of having still the 70, 82 wheel
Yeah,
riders
it's
is that
amazing.
he
Right
can
now,
make.
it's great for both Panache and UK.
Yeah, Cummings is on his way to die, actually.
Yeah,
But obviously, it's already a good thing having it still here. So actually, in the end, the strategy made sense, I think, because actually having him with a big advantage after the floods.
Igita dying as well. Igita dying.
Yeah, but obviously, and PCM UK looks like in the best position
Yeah,
of
one is also
everyone.
done. Gegenhardt is done, but Christopher Froome attacks.
Froome is going.
Christopher
Froome is
Froome
going. Froome is
attacks.
going. And this can be a good move because now percentages aren't so hard. So let's see, because if you have bars, you can do a good speed, but without having to spend so much. This
1.7 kilometers. If he saved well his energies, he's gonna start the sprint now. He's gonna start the acceleration now. Although trying to close.
we are in the steepest part of the last kilometers. Then it's finished and almost done for Joe Whiteley. Almost done for Joe Whiteley.
Joe Whiteley is going to take it. PCM UK is going to take the stage win and possibly the
Yes.
group win. PCM UK is in semifinals. Panache is going to make second with Nairo Quintana. Landa is not free because he is only third with Miru. And then Stiros is fourth place. Show is out. I can confirm Show is out. And I think
See,
Panache as
I
well.
think
I believe
Lavanache
PCM
and Show
UK.
FC are going to be out.
I believe it's PCM UK first of the group and Super Meme second of the group. But we will wait for confirmation and we move back to center court.
Yeah.
Luxers
So
are attacking.
we can close this one, and we are going to have while everyone came back apparently on European Luxers.
82 others, other 82s. You mean? I'm just switching now. Sorry.
Everyone came back on European Luxers because the European Luxers were 2 minutes ahead, and then we came back and we found them in the same group of every other 82 leaders. And now they tried an attack again, but they couldn't drop anyone. And also, we have a strong wind. Now
Yes,
it is
just
coming
30
from the
seconds.
right, but yeah, surely it was impacting the race. I mean, I don't know how they just get catched because actually they have a good advantage, but in the end it wasn't needed. So actually now they're trying to drop other teams' helpers because otherwise it's going to be a bad situation for them. They just lost their fourth and third rider. The others are trying to manage the energies as much as they can on this final.
Turn.
So
I'm bringing PCM UK with me for in interviews, so they'll be arriving shortly.
yeah.
Uh, we will ping the others as well, but since these already have access to the group for professional reasons, we would like to hear them as soon as we can. Here's classification on the
Boss.
stage. Joe Whiteley, welcome.
All
Ciao.
Oh, okay. Wait. We're going to have to delay the interviews until the end of this. So
Yeah,
apologies.
because we have Ghosty on the attack on the Passo Croce Domini. Ghosty is alone, and behind, I think they're basically waiting for their helpers because,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, Leo Falandri going to take the second place in the KOM sprint. And behind, you can see the peloton made by the most of the helpers from the other teams. And we are seeing Jose Pereira going strong as always. I think they in the Portugal can be in the best situation actually, because for sure European Luxers have spent a lot of energy in that attack, and now he's spending again a lot. Ghosty, so actually we will see what will happen.
Well, Luxors definitely need to make something happen in this stage, and right now
Yeah.
they are trying.
Yeah, they're going for intermediate points because I think they may play for the intermediate sprint because they have 1 minute and 50 seconds
Roland
advantage.
catches up to Colsat. That is Leo Falandri with a 78 catching up to the Ghostman.
Yeah, as we can see, most of the others played the KOM with the 78 mountain, while obviously Luxers were they were going for their 82 mountain riders. That
Azevedo, that is the 78 from EDK, and someone from Skype, I believe they're 78 as well, I'm going to assume.
yeah, Parepantre.
Arrepanto. So they are trying, but they still have 1 minute to close there. Now Parepanto actually does an acceleration there, trying to close that gap. It's stable though.
Yeah, it is because actually in downhill it's difficult to close gaps.
Indeed.
Azevedo and Parepantre are trying to reduce the disadvantage, but obviously it's
And
difficult for them.
Leo Falandri, obviously knowing he doesn't have to do much, is just sitting on Ghostman's wheel. It is not his onus to work right now because Ghosty is there with Colset.
Yeah, and he's spending so much energies that will haunt him in the end on the final climbs.
Theoretical advantage for Colset though for the intermediate sprint if they reach in this position, and everything seems to indicate that they do.
What? Sorry.
Theoretical advantage for Colset for the intermediate sprint over the 78 rider.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't sprint if I were Ghosty because he's already spending energies.
But let us see. Yeah, he should just roll over and get second, even if Leo goes
Yeah,
for it.
7 points. It's already good.
Let's see if Ghosty doesn't cave to that temptation. He should not. He needs to focus on what he's still left ahead, and he doesn't. Smart rider, smart player, experienced Ghosty. And now Parampantre gets third place as Vida takes fourth, Cosmopla fifth.
Yeah,
And
behind they still have the 73 mountain riders.
also called Puncher.
Yeah, yeah.
Bravo,
Yeah,
is this serious?
sometimes I just speak the longest path to
Yes.
expressing a concept. So
Alright, trying to understand now the positioning. Everyone is, wait, let's see if there's some.
yeah, 2 minutes now for Ghosty, which is a pretty good advantage
Rossi,
if
yeah,
he wasn't
The
alone.
riders are
I
ready
was
for
about to
finish
ask.
representing.
Less than 30k and 2 minutes, 2.5 now. Can he do it?
Well, I think his bars will deplete so fast in the final kilometers when behind they
Indeed.
will accelerate. But also, even if he finish the climb ahead, I think he will just lose more time in the final climb, which we've seen it's pretty steep in some parts. So, to be honest, I think they have to move
We
if they
have,
want
uh,
to catch
we
him.
have a quick update. We have final classification of Group A. Show FC is fourth place, 209 points. Le Panache is third place, 254 points. Supreme is second place, 213. PCM UK group winner, 234 points. Congratulations to PCM UK and Supreme
Yeah.
A for our podcast. They advance into inline final of teams.
Yes. In the meantime, Jose is working. Jose is working obviously because now they have to drop the advantage back, and he's working in the easiest part of the climb, as it's right to do, because actually
11.
with the puncher is right to work there. Also, we have a strong tailwind, so actually bars are not going to be very
Quite strong, yeah.
consumed. Yeah, it's 41. So pretty strong. It could be an advantage for Ghosty, but I think he's pretty died,
Yeah, but
pretty
his
dead.
bars are not good at all when we see that he lost a lot just there in that in those couple of final kilometers that he just did. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's still a minute and a half, but not as comfortable as it once was. you'll probably have something
This
like
features some terrific percentages.
45, I was gonna say, but there's still 3 kilometers to go.
Yeah, and now Portugal is losing their third rider, and I think also Village du Mardi are going to lose their rider soon, and
Back
they
to
are in
2
advantage.
minutes.
To be honest, the advantage went again up to
Went
two
up.
minutes.
Yeah, but at what expense? Now, actually, Leo Falanti is gonna roll over the KOM, but
No,
Ghosti sprinted.
yeah,
Well,
Gossi tried to
accelerated.
sprint,
Accelerated.
and okay, now the situation is good for Portugal. But to be honest, I don't know because 2 minutes, two
Two and
minutes
a,
and a half now.
expected 2.5 now with 15 kilometers to go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Half of them
it's a
almost is
lot.
downhill. It's a lot.
Yeah. So let's see what happens because actually we could see an upset. I think
What?
1 minute and 30 won't still be enough. But if it stays up to 2 minutes,
Oh,
I
but
don't think so.
they're
I don't
going
think
to
so.
try and massively close it here in these
Yeah.
in this false flat.
Yeah, actually, if you had more downhill, I think it was closed. But actually,
The
this
riders
flat
are
part
entering the
was
last
very
10
useful
kilometers of
to
the stage.
the people behind.
Yeah.
Now let's see, because I think it will be borderline going
Oh, but it's
to.
dropping 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 1.5 minutes was the benchmark, and now again the flat part before the start. So I think it's going to end bad for
Pastorella
Ghost.
Pesolana begins 7.3 kilometers to the end, 1.2 kilometers of altitude at 7.5%, as we've seen before. Middle part is the steepest part, and 1 minute only almost. Rises to 22, but it's a very stable gap right now. Oh, there's an attack. Or no, it's 78. Ivar was
This climb
actually
features
pacing.
some dreadful percentages.
I don't get those attacks by riders. Yeah, yeah. I
About to
don't get
closing
those
now.
attacks.
I think he was just trying to close and
5 kilometers remaining.
went
No,
a
I
bit.
think he put on automatic. So yeah,
Wait,
that's the situation.
I can see. I think it's 30 seconds. There's a bit fuzzy now in my screen.
Yeah, they catched
Hey, that
Ghosty
catch up.
now.
Yeah. So
4 kilometer to go,
Ghosty
and
anything but favorite at this point, and now
like
Barbe with Roland.
yeah, they're going. I think
Yeah,
Village du Mardi going for the win now.
yeah. Leo doing the springboard for Romain Bardet, but let's see if they can actually make it happen. Bardet now accelerating,
Yeah,
2.9 to go.
they got an advantage, and this will be decisive. Ghosty dropped.
Expected after that
Yeah,
valiant effort from the Ghostman. And now
and
Romain Bardet
it is
is on
going.
the move. Romain Bardet is on the move.
I wonder if he's
Quick,
spending too much because he
maybe
already
because
accelerated big,
quick
and
response.
there is
Quick response from
headwind.
Skype.
Okay, now
Quick
wind
response from
changed.
Skype.
Portugal
And
just have to sit on Skype here.
what?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think it's going to be Skype because actually
Watch out,
T2
the KOM is slowing
spent
down
a
again.
lot in part with the headwind. So let's see if they sprint because it seems they won't sprint. Okay, no, Ush was done. Okay, and so Village du Mardi won the stage.
Second place goes to Skype and Portugal third.
Those French,
This
yeah,
means that
too
Village
many
du
French,
Mardi.
too many French teams, as I said.
This means that unless the KOMs tell a different story, Village and Portugal should advance. They had 40 points advantage to Skype. They only lose 20 here in the stage. They would need to lose quite more in the KOMs, which I heavily doubt, but we will be waiting to see. So it's a good result for Village here, which might give them, and will give them actually, the confirmation of the group win.
It depends on KOM points and intermediate sprint points who actually passes between Portugal and Skype.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was only a 20.
After the stage results are added,
I said all of
it's
that.
only an 21 point gap after.
I just said all of that, Joe.
10%.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying though, it's really gonna obviously
I highly
So,
doubt it, though, that happens because Ghostman at the front took a lot of the KOMs. I don't think they got enough to pass Portugal, but let's see.
I know that you said it. I'm just going to reiterate it though because I think
No,
it
no,
shows
yeah.
that inline is important. That you can't just
Yeah,
sit there and go
those
for the
secondaries
stages.
are, yeah,
You can't
indeed
just
very
expect to
important.
go for the
Guys,
stage
you see
winning
what I meant to
pass.
put in the game chat?
Evan Paul abandons Giro due to COVID, I'm being told. Breaking news from
Yeah.
the real Giro d'Italia.
Only in Italy, we're still doing COVID tests.
Are you joking? Because if you're not joking, I think I've just.
Fuck, my 10 euros are gone.
He is not joking.
He's not.
My
Oh
10
my god,
euros
he's not
are
joking.
gone.
Oh my god, yes.
He is not joking.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad arrived in the room saying it to me.
Vamos.
Ladies and
Oh my
gentlemen,
God.
now we have a Giro, and that's nothing. I'm hope that Remco quickly recovers and all of that, but let's go Giro.
Oh, by the way, the win of today still counts, right?
Obviously.
Yes.
Poor man.
Also, I've just had communication from Emea that every time he streams, he cannot take Evenepoel as the spectator rider.
By the way, I think Tao is the new Nibali.
In case it contaminates the rest of
We
the
are
team.
waiting for confirmation of general
It
classification.
might get contaminated. This 5G thing might actually get
But
us.
that is why Emea, smart that he is, has Tobias Foss with him and not Remco Evenepoel.
Clever.
So he won with COVID. Oh my god.
Wait, you're just saying someone said I can't believe you're still doing COVID tests, but the fact is he has it, so
And we'd also talk about how Thibaut Pinot was severely coughing the other day as well. So I guess I've been spreading it to Remco. You know what? I'm gonna
You know what?
pay. I'm
Alplan.
gonna pay that dog's owner good money. I'm gonna pay Alex Kirsch and Mads Pedersen good money, and I'm gonna pay Thibaut Pinot good money for giving Remco COVID.
As I said, he's the new Nibali Tao. Also, 3 years ago when he
Oh
won,
my god, Emea,
he destroyed the rivals.
didn't you abandon your rider like normal peeps do?
Because
Nibali-
Emea is not a normal person.
For me, Vincenzo Nibali is one of the most overrated Grand Tour riders.
No, I don't think.
Oh, you're gonna say that in a chat
Giro
full of
2013 and
Italians?
Tour
The most
overrated
is the
was
most
100%.
overrated Grand Tour riders of every time. He just won
You're
because
gonna
he has
say
no
that?
other opponents.
I can't believe Joe thinks he's gonna say that without backlash in a chat full of Italians.
I'm not saying that all of his Grand Tour results were Mickey Mouse, but
Well,
Giro,
I think the best one was absolutely the one where Tom
Giro,
Dumoulin takes a shit.
Giro 2016, Tour de France 2014, in my opinion, both Mickey Mouse.
And I just say that the best
So
one
the,
was the one, like I said,
in
where
Tour was
Dumoulin took a
the
shit.
strongest Nibali. 10 minutes are too much for me. He also gained a lot on when the rivals were still there.
In 2014, he gained riders on who? Fucking Jean-Christophe Perrault.
No, he gained 2 minutes on the cobbles on Contador.
Yeah, I know, he gained 2 minutes on Contador, but I mean,
Contador.
but like,
Wasn't washed. He destroyed the Fuming well.
Washed.
But I mean,
Contador. Washed.
but I mean, Nibali gaining time on cobbles is like saying Evenepoel gains times on time trials against Enric Mas. It's like, yeah.
Guys, we're going to move to the interviews channel.
I think Contador was in very, very good form that time.
No, was very good form. He was both at the top level, I think.
Yeah.
And then descended like a bellend.
Yeah.
So I was saying that okay, Giro 2016 wasn't for sure from Nibali. Do you agree all of this?
We
Well, I
agree
think
that we changed the subject,
Steven-
ladies and gentlemen.
Steven
Stop.
Kruijswijk was going to win.
I think Nibali deserved.
Okay, you gotta mute. You gotta mute. And you get a mute and shut the fuck up about the Giro. Thank you. Swaxton, hello.
Oh, hello, good evening.
Go out.
Okay, so we're here for the interviews of what we were actually streaming. That was not the Giro d'Italia. That's the World fucking Championships. Swax didn't start well for us, but we managed to turn things around, and Joe managed to get that most necessary win. Sorry, in stage 3. How was that semifinal from your point of view?
I think we knew what was coming, but I think we played well. I think of course the first stage was not how we wanted it, but I don't think that was. I think there was like circumstances beyond our control that didn't help. But then stage 2 was good. Ibra played a great game. He did, and then.
Would you say that it was harder than you thought, or at the end of the day, what matters was passing and not really winning the group because the final is the final anyway?
I think it's all well and good. Like I think you aim just to pass. Like you aim to pass, and then you try and put yourself in the best position possible after 2 stages. Because then and then you can at least then go into the third race knowing what you need to do, rather than go for Hail Mary. Just end up in a pretty bad situation. And I feel like we played the third stage really well. We knew what we needed to do. We came in with a plan. We executed it perfectly. There we go. Bish bash bosh.
When Ibra took that dramatic win, absolute champ there in stage 2, did you guys feel a bit more relaxed at that point? Because you started that stage a little behind the second place at that point, and always still very unsure. Did you guys start believing at that point that things were going to change?
It definitely felt better after that. Yeah, it was definitely a lot better. We're a lot more happier we were with that, and I think that just helped us in the last stage. Just relax.
All right.
So
Ended up being a good result for you guys. I wish you the best of luck for the final. Thank you for being here, Swax.
thank you.
All right. Quick update before I hear the other people on the channel. Village de Mardi destroys everyone in Group B with 401 points. Portugal, second place, 282. Team Skype, third place, 260. The European Locksters are fourth with 177 and in the mud. Ibra, hello. Ibra?
Yeah, I'm here.
That was a dramatic sprint in stage 2. Talk us through it, man. Congratulations on that win, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we needed a win, so I got a win, and yeah, that's it. It just had to bounce back after what happened in Tour, and we did that. So yeah, there is still a final to play, I guess.
So the focus immediately ends being here. Semifinals over. Now focus is on the final and on the other races we still have to do, I'm assuming.
Yeah, finals of ITT, TTT, finals of Inline, of classics, and also our solos that are coming soon. So a lot of things coming up for UK, and yeah.
Congratulations, by the way, on advancing to the final of ITT.
Yeah, thank you. But the real objectives are still to come. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is a good night for PCM UK. I guess.
All right, man. Enjoy it. That was a very, very good win from you on stage 2, and we all did a good teamwork. So I think we are all very happy with the outcome. And thank you so much for being here. Best of luck for the rest of your World Championship, Ibra.
Thank you.
Let me just unmute Joe Whiteley. I think it already is. Joe, welcome.
Yo.
You finally had the chance to play with the PCM UK after what happened in Tour. Finally had the chance to work for the 82 rider. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I knew we'd have a bigger chance of going through it inline than we did in top because obviously of the I don't know how you'd say it, probably like the focus, I guess, of other teams on us would be I mean, it'd still be there in inline, but it'd be less so, and also it's less.
It's different.
It's less possible to make an
Well,
impact.
there is not
in-
an actual GC for the whole race,
Yeah,
which makes it different. I assume.
So obviously, inline also, I believe, gives more points than Tor. So I'm glad
Mhm.
it kind of went that way, and
How
rightfully
would
so.
you? Sorry
Inline,
to
I
interrupt.
think, is more. Yeah, Karen.
How would you classify the level of wheel sucking in the semifinal?
Of inline.
Yeah, this one.
Well, I think there was one team there today who they do it in their solo events, they do it in their team events, and they don't change. But
Do you think that they paid that price in the final classification?
yeah, because they didn't go through.
All right. Plans for PCM UK. Like Iver said, a lot of focus still left for us as a team. What are the goals for this team? Ask you as the team captain, obviously.
We'll see how the other events go in team, because obviously, if I'm not mistaken, we have a few track events and the TT finals, which we
Surprisingly,
are
track
very
events.
yeah. So obviously that can change things, and then we go into classics final. Obviously, hoping to do the best result we can. In inline final, obviously it's the last team event, so a lot can change before then in the overall battles, in the road overall battles. So I think
Is the road overall, for example, an objective for the PCM UK team?
I mean it's always an objective, but I think Village Damadi being in, I think they're in all three
I
team road
believe
finals.
so, off to the
So
top of my head.
I think it's up to them. I think also Skype being in a lot of the track events still, they could also impact the
Was there a
overall
balance here
final.
for the overall with Skype losing out on this final, for example?
Skype lost the overall, trying to focus on a different team, and to be honest, I couldn't be more happier for them.
All right. Comments on the big dog being on the TTT final?
Amazing, to be honest. It's a
Right.
little bit of a shock, but couldn't be happier, I guess.
I heard the sorry. I heard the guy was pretty relaxed in the chat. He already had it all figured out since before stage one started. I'm gonna win this one. Then what do I need to do? Something like this.
Yeah, you definitely didn't play them like once or twice right before we started.
No, I really didn't.
But it shows the depth we've got in
Really
PCM UK. It shows the ability we've got in PCM UK for the Tom Trials.
Well,
As much
with
as, as
Ibra
much
in
as they're
the
not my favorite.
actually with Ibra in the ITT final, myself in the TTT one, yourself in ITT. I think Swaxon that's been in on both those finals as a as some good players there doing the taking the torch for him. Would you say so, Swags? Is
Was
he
that
here?
I completely did not hear any of
Oh,
that.
I was saying with Joe and Ibra in ITT finals, myself in the TTT one. I think you have some good guys to pass the torch, as you are not in these finals as you couldn't play this year.
I feel like I've definitely passed the torch over. I think I could actually relax a bit more. This is like I'm just
But
laying
he
down.
can't pass the torch just yet because he's got a crucial role to play in the team.
Oh
trial
fuck yes!
event.
No, he actually
Oh,
has a big role to play in team. He's been benched because he was washed, but he unwashed,
yeah,
so he's back. No,
massively
he has
washed.
been absent due to his own personal reasons, obviously, but it's great to have him back. He's always a major asset, one of the best players in the world. And speaking of best players in the world, Il Grandissimo Frabo, welcome.
El Grande Frabo is the best player in the world.
Are
Do
you
you
drunk,
agree?
Frabo? No.
Hi guys.
Hello, Frabo. No, I'm joking. Frabo, second place for meme, but close to UK. That was a very hard fought battle. What do you think of that
We got
semifinal?
robbed in second stage because Mivo was clearly in ahead of him.
The second
He also,
stage?
yeah,
But
he also
Either won the second stage.
Yeah, he also exulted. Put the hands up in second stage.
Wait, who?
Miu.
Miru,
Did he?
And you have the second.
Miru celebrated second place. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did the healings though.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
I didn't either, to be honest, until I saw
Inning
it.
celebrated that for 400 meters to go.
Wow.
Do you remember joining EDL?
We
I
need
do,
a
yes.
clip. We need a clip of this if this is true.
There is a clip. Benyon
Oh.
has a clip.
Someone sent it to Emir. We want to see it on stream.
By the way, I
Yeah,
think
see this.
Miu is very strong.
So, Frabo, in your words, what did you think about the semifinal?
The semi-final, Miu is impressive. And Solipei,
Not so much.
I think that Solipei is impressive about his PCM theory are completely wrong.
His what? Sorry, didn't hear.
It's impressive how his PCM theories are so wrong. This is impressive,
I
Solipei.
agree. We agree to quote a major wise philosopher. Do you think that tonight proves that Miru always wants to be right? Your words at some point of this World Championship.
I prefer not to speak. I do like Basso.
Okay. That's a good point. But on a more serious note, congratulations, man. That's an important final for your team. Are you guys focused on winning this now that you got there?
Yeah, it would be interesting trying to win this. We feel confident.
You will have the company aside from UK that also is there. As, they were in your group from Portugal and Village, so it's going to be a pretty strong final. Would you agree?
Yes, 100%.
Are we going to see Frabo at the attack like a madman? The world needs this.
If Miro agrees, yes.
All right, let's hope that
No.
Miru has some fond feelings for the Frabo attacks because we all like to see them happen.
Yeah, last time it didn't work so much, but
Frabo, we actually didn't talk about yesterday yet, but you did not have pole position. What happened in the TTT?
wait, 2 days ago. I tried
No,
only the only the two TTs, and in the second I did I used it as a fifth man the Von Rider.
well, you will be proud to know that I actually tried them 0 times, so you would be proud of me screaming pole position in the chat like a madman if you could have heard it.
Oh, you did. It's curious how you passed without trying them.
Well,
Pure talent.
those were my 15 minutes of fame, so I'm gonna milk them until I get squashed in the final, rightfully so. On a more serious note, we have what is this in classics? I guess.
Tomorrow is classics.
Yes. Tomorrow is classic semifinal, and
Yeah.
what we'll have is Group A: Basso, Aquarius, Goga, Joe Whiteley, Pierre, Yanu. Group B: Miro, Groot, Leo Falandri, George, Swagson, Francesco Grassi. So that's some interesting groups there.
So
Joe, are you still here?
I am, yes.
Tell us about your group.
Tough group. I think a lot will depend on that first stage.
Also, Frabo, I'm being told that you're called for external streaming duties tomorrow.
Oh, interesting. Wait, tomorrow I can.
Yeah, we'll figure
Yeah.
that out later. Joe, you were saying, sorry.
I think a lot will depend on the first stage. Ameya's a noob, and he put the shit Lombardi, and then he also put a shit stage 3. So, well,
Emea is a noob indeed. We can all agree on this. On a more serious note,
imagine changing Lombardia from an uphill finish to a sprint finish.
I'm not even going to ask him why. Because, again, quick reminder, tomorrow semifinal classics solo, we will be here broadcasting in the IMA. Group A, Basso, Aquarius, Goga, Joe, Pierre, Yanu. Group B, Miru, Groot, Leo Falandri, George Swagson, and Francesco Grassi. I will see you all tomorrow. I want to thank Grassi for being here, Eme as always for his work, all you guys for coming for the interviews, and we are going to close the stream. With the reminder that there's still a lot of events to go in these World Championships. Tomorrow is just yet another semifinal for solo, but there's still a lot to come. Keep joining, keep watching, because as the wheels are turning, we are still making history. Thank you guys for being here, and best of luck to all your future endeavors in these World Championships. Good night, all.